Welcome to Everything CPA and Private Equity, where we unpack the evolving relationship between accounting firms, private equity, and other strategics. I'm David Wolfskehl, a partner at Whitman Transition Advisors.
And I'm Phil Whitman, CEO of Whitman Transition Advisors. And we've chatted with more than 150 private equity groups. We've actually closed over 40 transactions with those private equity groups. And we're bringing you firsthand insights from the front lines.
And whether you're exploring your first deal, putting your toe in the water, refining your strategy, we're here to guide you with real stories, expert advice, actionable takeaways. Let's dive in. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Everything CPA and Private Equity. And we are a resource for leaders and executive committees to understand what's going on with private equity, to educate them and really put them in a better place to be prepared for opportunities. Today, we're going to always start with a quote. And so I love John Maxwell. Today's quote is, people buy into the leader before they buy into the vision. And I firmly believe that people make quick decisions about the leader, and then they'll listen to the vision if they like the leader. So certainly love John Maxwell. Today, life, and big hello to my co-host, Phil Whitman. Today, we're going to really be talking about having your act together and getting your house in order. You've heard time kills deals, and life also happens. And so we've seen things that have taken longer, and there's been impacts because of that time. So, if you're thinking about doing a transaction, you want to have your house in order so that when you find the right party, you're able to execute it on quickly. So welcome, Phil, and let's talk about getting your house in order today and why it's important.
Hey there, David. Great to see you today. Yeah, so great topic. And, so frequently we've been in situations where, we get together with a managing partner and he'll share a story or some information about a CPA firm. And very frequently there's a second first meeting. And what I mean by that is, frequently it'll be the managing partner engaging with a private equity group or potential strategic investor first, and then additional partners are brought in as they meet other members of the team. And sometimes the stories that are told are not in alignment. So, when we talk about getting your ducks in order, I'll always remember there was one firm that we worked with, and it was quite amazing that it didn't matter what partner you spoke to. It was almost like they all drank the Kool-Aid and they all told the same story. And there was no doubting in the minds of the potential acquirer that this firm is a one firm and not one with partner groups with divergent views.
Yeah,
So
I mean, we've been in meetings also where the partners have literally argued with each other in front of a potential buyer, right?
yes.
About facts, right? Even about numbers, right? Things that aren't opinion. So getting your firm story together, what roles do you play? What do you do? What's your vision? Those things are important. People want to buy things that are in line with each other, not where they're going to walk into a situation where the partners are fighting. And both of us have literally been in different meetings where we've seen partners argue about facts in front of a potential buyer.
Yeah. And so I think, Dave, the gist of what we're getting to is, preparation, being prepared for these conversations, these very important conversations that you're going to have. And you only have one opportunity to make a great first impression. It reminds me of the partners that have a new client opportunity and not being prepared while they're in the taxi on the way over to the prospective client meeting. They're flipping through work papers and thinking about the great questions they're going to ask. And they've got all of 10 or 15-minute car ride over to do that preparation. I think that these conversations really, when you're getting together with more than one partner in a meeting with one of these private equity groups or strategic investors, there's no reason why you shouldn't be having a dress rehearsal for this meeting. Who's going to say what? And let's not trip all over. Let's not interrupt each other. Let there be a complete thought and really a focused effort on this. One of the things, David, is knowing your numbers.
Yep. And so, doesn't make a great first impression when we're almost in March and people are still waiting for the 24 numbers, right? But we see things like that, right? We see things where just getting numbers from a financial organization is delayed, slow, and sometimes not totally accurate either.
Yes. Now, I will say, I have been so impressed with the private equity groups and strategic investors that we've decided to partner with in showing them opportunities in this space. And to date, David, last Friday was number 178 of them 78 strategic investors in the public accounting space. The ones that we're working with, I have been very impressed that they've come to know that a good many of the firms that they're meeting are great servicing their clients, but when it comes to their own internal stuff, it's like the shoemaker's children with holes in their shoes. And I'm not being negative towards, our
I think that's our reality that we see all the time. We're waiting for the numbers.
Waiting for the numbers.
We hear that on a regular basis. So this is just the reality, and we're trying to educate so it's not your reality.
And
if you're trying to do a transaction.
Right. How cool would it be if you came to a meeting and you were not put in that bucket with everyone else that's the shoemakers, with children who have holes in their shoes, but that you know your numbers and you have your financials all on the ready.
Well, I'm working with a $2 million firm, right? And they asked for the initial information same day. Every single firm has all the information for the most part, right? There might be some nuance in there, but the same day they request it, it's there because this client knew this is going to be part of the game and they were prepared. And let's talk also about numbers too, right? So sometimes, all these PE firms are going to get a quality of earnings, are going to do due diligence, right? So, is the beginning the time to hype up your numbers to make people more excited, or is that really not the right strategy?
So I would say there's only two courses of strategy in my mind that work. Either under promise and over deliver, or tell it exactly how it is. But puffery and vagaries around what your true fees are and what you're dropping to the bottom line. I mean, numbers don't lie. And with those Q of E's, these private equity groups are going to be coming back with questions. Now, I will say this, you don't need to lie because in the most part, they've been very, very generous about providing an adjusted EBITDA number, meaning all the different add backs, the one-time things and what, people that are,
the country club, the extra car that perhaps is on the
car expenses and cell phones and the stuff that, going forward, are not going to be reductions in EBITDA. But remember, numbers don't lie, and know your numbers.
So I think today's really about what you should get ready. And I think at the beginning, it's about getting your house in order. And then I think throughout the process, it's about acting like you have new future partners or new future great clients of yours, and you should behave in that way. And so when they request something, you should do it. And if you can't do it, you should let people know that you're going to be late, just like you would with a good client. And you should behave like these are your future partners and have that mindset and work that.
Communication. Just if you say you're going to do something, do it. If something comes up and you can't do it, don't just let a deadline slip. Pick up the phone, send an email and say, hey, I know I told you I'd have everything today, I totally forgot I had, my son's birthday party. And the next thing you do is you tell them, I'll have it for you on Wednesday, but then make sure you have it for them on Wednesday. Because the one thing you don't want to do is continue showing them that you're unreliable and you keep telling them and promising and failing to meet, deadlines that they haven't set, but, commitments that you have made.
Yep. So real quick, like we said, we want to give you the education so you can get ready, have your financials together, make it a higher priority than perhaps you have in the past when it was more of an internal thing, right? Know your story with your firm, practice it. Right? That's how you get people excited. Have your mindset of reasonableness and have your mindset that these are your future partners and you want to wow them right from the beginning and they want to wow you as well. Any final thoughts, Phil, before we wrap this up?
Well, one of the things that I would say is, it's never a straight line from signing that letter of intent to getting the transaction closed. There are going to be some bumps in the road. And when I say bumps, nothing major, but, when something comes back on a Q of E and they're seeking to make an adjustment, I think you need to approach it with a mindset of reasonableness. Put yourself in their position. They are making significant investments in our firms, and be reasonable and respectful. And, the reality is all too often people get caught up on little things that are unlikely to happen. I think you really need to look at the big picture.
Yep. Right. Well, I agree with you and act like the future partner that you're going to be and be the best you during this process. This is significant for you and your firm. Be that leader that we've discussed, maximizing it. So I'm David Wolfskehl, my partner, Phil Whitman. We're here to educate you on what's going on in the PE marketplace. And we educate you because this is what we do every single day. Phil talked about meeting 178 PE firms. We've closed 30 plus transactions. These are things that we see. We want to help you. Like us, subscribe to us. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Go crush your day, everybody.
Thank you for tuning into Everything CPA and Private Equity. Every episode brings fresh insight. However, there's always more to talk about.
Don't miss an episode. Subscribe wherever you watch podcasts. Have a question or topic you'd like us to cover? We'd love for you to reach out to us.
Together, we will help you navigate this dynamic landscape so that we can help you achieve your goals. Until next time, keep making moves that matter.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode.